Hi everybody, Sean here for Sean Talks Movies, and I am bringing you a new instant reaction. And today I'm going to be talking about the latest entry into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, you think you know how the world works? What if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything does. Not everything has to.
Now, if you guys haven't seen this already, I know that there's a lot of people who probably went out and saw this opening weekend. It made quite a bit of money, I think $85 million over the opening weekend. If you haven't seen it yet, it is the latest MCU entry, and it's featuring Benedict Cumberbatch in the lead as the titular character, Doctor Strange. And this is Marvel kind of getting into the mysticism thing, more so than the superhero thing, I guess. But I did not really know anything about Doctor Strange going into this movie. I just knew the cast. Benedict Cumberbatch is in there as the lead, as I said. And we also have Chiwetel Ejiofor, Tilda Swinton, Mads Mikkelsen, and Benedict Wong, and Rachel McAdams, actually. I should mention her before I forget. This movie focuses on Strange, who is a neurosurgeon, kind of a cocky neurosurgeon, who gets into a car accident and loses the ability to use his hands the way that he could before, so he goes on a search to find he tries all types of Western medicine, doesn't work out, and he ends up going to the Far East to find something, and he finds a new kind of look at the world through mysticism and stuff like that, and that's kind of your basis. And Tilda Swinton essentially recruits him to become a new type of sorcerer to help defend the Earth against some crazy creature thing, god, I don't know, that's trying to take over the world. Now, I have been very vocal about my particular enjoyment of these particular movies, and I went in cautiously optimistic because I do like the origin stories for the Marvel films, and I thought that maybe this one would give me another good look at something interesting, and I was right, because damn, I really enjoyed Doctor Strange. This has all of the necessary elements of an origin story. You're getting a backstory for the character and figuring out exactly who he is in the early going, and it felt like it was rushing it a little bit, but they do enough to really give you a sense of who the Strange character is supposed to be. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch, I was worried about him going in because I know that he is a good actor, but I didn't know how he was going to transition into something like this. I think he's one of the better leads out of a Marvel film so far that we've seen over the last 8 years or so, and he's very strong. Benedict Cumberbatch is very strong in this particular film, and the rest of the cast does well too. Chiwetel Ejiofor is great, Tilda Swinton is fine, Rachel McAdams is very good in the few scenes that she shows up in, and Mads Mikkelsen, if you guys don't know that name, he was the villain in Casino Royale as well as Hannibal on the TV show Hannibal. He was the lead there. But it's one of those movies that I think there's going to be a lot of people out there that are confused by it, unless you are in the whole realm of the comic book thing. I think there's going to be a lot of comic book fans out there that really enjoy the film, but aside from that, I did have a little bit of trouble accessing some of the stuff. It's spelled out relatively simply, but there's a lot of like throws to stuff that I'm sure was references that I just did not catch. But as a standalone film, I think that this is one of the better ones that I've seen out of Marvel, and I do have to say that it is very well done. I really, really enjoyed it. I found myself engaged the entire time. This is probably their most visually ambitious film. I did not see it in IMAX or 3D because I was not willing to fork over the extra money to do that, but this is one that if you guys set aside, 1 or 2 movies a year to go check out in IMAX or 3D, I would say this is probably one you want to try out because it is visually stunning. Think Inception on kind of on a broader level. I think that's probably the best comparison, but there's some stuff in here that I was just kind of floored by. I would be shocked if this isn't up for a visual effects Oscar because it's stunning just to watch, and from a visual standpoint, it is done very well. I thought the acting all around is better than some of the rest of the MCU stuff, and it's a good story, and you follow along quite well. I don't want to say too much about the ending. I thought the ending was strong as well for reasons I thought the ending worked very well in opposition to some of the criticisms I've had for superhero films in the past, and it fleshed out the Doctor Strange character a little bit more and kind of gave him, again, I don't want to say too much. I think that this is one of the better, this is probably the best Marvel film I've seen since Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's just one of those things. I don't know if I need to see more of Doctor Strange. I know that he's going to be part of this whole universe, but I enjoyed this movie, and I think it is worth watching if you guys are on the fence about whether or not you wanted to see it. I think this is definitely better than some of your general fare for the MCU. If you guys are not already doing so, please check out all of the social media affiliated with the Sean Talks Movies podcast over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Twitter, I have a new handle. It's twitter.com/MovieSean, or just @MovieSean. I just simplified it a little bit for everybody. But there's all that. Make sure you check out all the other YouTube videos here and all that fun stuff. And I don't want to say that I'm back on the Marvel bandwagon, but Doctor Strange is a step in the right direction, albeit a very strange one.